Let me ask you a real question. Who's in your financial group chat? And you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're anything like me, you have multiple group chats going on all at one time. Whether it's the family group chat, the group chat with the boys, the girls group chat, whatever it is, who is in there giving you financial advice? Whether it's the guy that said, bro, I just threw $10,000 into crypto and it's about to moon. Or whether it's the guy that says, man, you just need to write everything off. Or the guy that thinks life insurance is a scam. Or the friend that says, my guy at work said that real estate is the only play going on right now. Trust me, I'm in those group chats and everybody sounds smart, but not everybody knows exactly what they're talking about. And here's the dangerous part. Bad financial advice doesn't necessarily feel like bad advice. It feels confident, it sounds simple, and from the most part, it usually comes from people that you trust. And honestly, whether it comes from social media, your coworkers, your friends, and even your family, the problem isn't that they're trying to mislead you. It's oftentimes that they're speaking from their own situation and not yours. See, in finance, context is everything. The same advice given to two different people can result in two completely different outcomes. You could have two different incomes, two different tax brackets, two different family situations, multiple different goals, and what you're actually trying to build can be completely different. Now, let me say that again for the folks in the back. You can have two people do the exact same thing and have one result in generational wealth and the other set themselves back years. Now, let me break it down like this. This is like asking somebody for workout advice and not necessarily knowing where they started from. Now, if a professional athlete tells you what their regimen is for working out, that doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna work for you. Different bodies, different problems, different outcomes. If you were to follow that athlete's plan without any context, you could necessarily not even end up being stronger, but wind up being injured. And the financial industry works the exact same way. You could copy somebody's blueprint for how they got to where they're at financially, brick by brick, and wind up in a completely different situation because you don't have the context behind it. And in that situation, you're not building wealth. You're truly just hoping that it works out the same for you as it did for them. Now, let's be real. We're all in these group chats and we all have these different people that play these different roles in these group chats. Whether it's the crypto king, the anti-insurance guy, the real estate prophet, the tax expert, or even the my advisor said person. The thing with all of these different characters and roles that these people play in these group chats is it's not that it hasn't already worked out for them. It's that they don't necessarily know the context behind what you're doing in your financial situation to where their advice that worked for them doesn't necessarily fit what you're trying to do, and it may not work out the same way. Now, here's what I've seen firsthand as a fiduciary advisor on a week in and week out basis. I see people overpaying in taxes. I see people that are underinsured. I see people that are invested in the wrong spots. I see people missing opportunities that they didn't even know existed. And the worst, honestly, is I see people setting themselves up for, God forbid they didn't come home last night, their family would not be in a good situation, and most oftentimes they'd be in a court. And more times than not, it's not because they followed bad advice, it's because they followed advice that wasn't necessarily fit for their situation. And the worst part about it is that they usually don't know that they're doing the wrong thing until something happens and they're in a situation where they're being reactive instead of proactive. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a financial group chat. I'm saying you need a better one, because the problem isn't the group chat itself, it's the people that are in the chat. You shouldn't be getting financial advice from people that are guessing or telling you just what worked for themselves and not knowing the context of what you're trying to accomplish. You should be getting it from professionals that are more aligned with what your specific goals are. And honestly, this is really what your financial group chat should look like. Number one, your fiduciary financial advisor. Somebody who understands the full picture, not just investments. From income to protection to growth to distribution. They should know how the money comes in, how it gets protected, how it grows, and how it leaves your hands in the right way. And when I say protection, I mean the full conversation. Whether it's life insurance, disability, long-term care, a true financial advisor should really own that, because it's the foundation as far as what you're building from that point moving forward. Because protection isn't the opposite of wealth. Protection is what allows your wealth to survive things that are unseen. Number 2, your CPA or a tax attorney. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how much money you accumulate, it's about how much money you keep in your pocket. And honestly, one wrong move, one wrong classification, one wrong strategy can cost you tens of thousands of dollars in taxes. Number 3, your estate planning attorney. Because if something happens to you, you need to make sure that everything that you took all this time to build goes exactly where you want it to go. Avoid confusion, avoid the court system, and avoid conflict. Honestly, I've seen families lose more in probate than they've ever lost in a downturn in the market. An estate plan isn't just a document. It's a decision that you make so your family doesn't have to make it for you. Lastly, number 4, your business or intellectual property attorney. If you're a business owner and you're building something that has a name, a brand, or an idea behind it, you need somebody that's there that's protecting what you're building. Not after something goes wrong, but way before that. Your business is an asset. Your intellectual property is an asset. And assets without protection are not assets, they're exposure. See, real wealth isn't built in isolation. It's built through coordination. And oftentimes, most people don't have a strategy, they have a lot of pieces. And the pieces do not talk to each other. There's a financial advisor over here who's never met the CPA. Here's an estate planning attorney who wrote the trust but doesn't know how the accounts are titled. Or an insurance agent who wrote a policy years ago and the policy has never been reviewed for what their current situation is today. Honestly, that's not a plan. It's just a bunch of different pieces of paper that have your name on it. Let me put this in another way. You don't win a championship with just one coach. You win with the staff. You have a head coach running the game. You have an offensive coordinator calling the plays. You have a defensive coordinator protecting the lead. You have a trainer that keeps everybody healthy. Everybody has a role, everybody is connecting with each other, and everybody is working from the same playbook. And honestly, that's what a real financial team looks like. If your financial team isn't built that way, you're not playing to win. You're honestly just playing. At Hyde Legacy Group, this is exactly why we built our model in this way. We don't just look at one piece of your financial picture, we help coordinate all of it. From your financial strategy, to your tax strategy, to your estate plan, to protecting everything that you built. We don't believe in a one-size-fits-all approach. We believe that everything should be built around your family, your goals, your intention, and what you're looking to protect and leave behind for your family. Because honestly, what worked for your coworker could be the exact thing that's holding you back. Because the goal isn't just to make money. The goal is to keep it, to protect it, to grow it, and to leave it behind as a legacy to your beneficiaries. Anyone can help you make money, but very few people can help you keep it, and even fewer people can help you pass it on. Let me close with this. You wouldn't take medical advice from your group chat when it comes down to your health. So why are you doing that with your money? Because both can cost you everything if you get it wrong. So I'll ask you again, who's in your financial group chat? And are they qualified to give you the advice that you're looking for? Or are they just confident enough to sound like they are? If you've made it this far, you're not like most people. You're starting to think differently. And the people who win financially aren't the ones who listen to the loudest voices. They're the ones that get the right guidance for their lives specifically. If you're ready to replace opinions with a real plan, let's build your financial group chat. One that's built specifically around your life, your goal, and your legacy.